It's nice down there, but it's about to get pretty ugly there in the next couple of days. So if you've got any beach plans, I would actually prefer to stay here in central Alabama. You just got to endure one really bad day of the heat. That's today, and we're weather aware for it. Dangerous heat index. Look, we're used to it here in Alabama, at least 100 to 105. Once we get into that 105 to 110 range, that's when we start to see more problematic concerns here for some of those that are more sensitive to the heat. And due to this, we do have the heat advisory in effect for a good chunk of central Alabama, mostly from St. Clair to Shelby. Bibb County points northwest from there. That covers most of us west and along here of Interstate 65 for the heat index to climb up to as high as 110 later today. We're already feeling like 97 from Alabaster to Birmingham. Feels like triple digits there from Coleman to Asheville, Talladega. Only about 90 in Alex City, not too bad, but 101 coming in there from Moundville back up towards Fayette, and Tuscaloosa there around 99. Later on today here in just a couple of hours, it's going to feel like 105 for Gadsden, 107 Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, 106 Moundville, 108 for Jasper and Fayette. You get the idea. Far western Alabama, which is typical, will feel just a little bit warmer. Today's the worst of it, though, so it is a short period of this intense heat. Once we get to Thursday, Friday, we're starting to get back into that kind of heat that we're just used to here in the deep south at this time of the year. High temperatures approaching 90 degrees, getting back closer to seasonal values. That 12-hour planner, it looks fairly good for the rest of today in terms of the rain chances and just the threat for getting wet. Only about a 20% chance for the rest of this afternoon. So most of us are going to stay completely dry with a mix of sun and clouds. And satellite and radar shows that happening as we speak. But notice a far eastern Alabama seeing those first few outer bands of this Invest 93L located across the Gulf Coast starting to spread some moisture in the middle to upper levels of the atmosphere. For the rest of us, though, it's really just more sun than clouds at the moment, and it should stay that way for the rest of today. Notice the winds across most of the deep south coming in out of the east, eventually turning down towards the southern direction, coming out of the north on the back side of this area of low pressure. But notice where we have a lot of sunshine across northwest Alabama, the whole state of Mississippi, a good chunk of Arkansas. That's because there's a lot of diffluence happening here at the surface. These winds are not necessarily converging, and if they converge, they're forced to rise and produce more clouds. Instead, they're kind of glancing by at one another. So it's leading to a diffluence sort of flow here at the surface, more dry air in those parts of the region as well. But we do have a few little areas of some moisture convergence above our heads. That's leading to just some bands of cloud cover that's going to be passing through from our southeast to the northwest today. Some of these may become moist enough to produce a couple of rain showers. I don't think any of these will be too terribly intense in terms of the downpour today. But once we go into tomorrow, we'll see more of that cloud cover kind of drifting in from the south, additional moisture, and that may lead to a few more showers and storms, more widespread in coverage going into our Thursday afternoon, and that's when rain chances begin to climb. 60% going into Friday, 60% for Saturday, still around 40% for the upcoming weekend. Invest 93L currently right along the panhandle of Florida, I-10 just west of Tallahassee. Forecast models for the majority of them taking it towards the west around New Orleans. The National Hurricane Center says we've got about a 40% chance that this thing may try to develop into a depression. If it does so, it would be called Dexter, but I think the odds of that are low. Bigger story today is the heat, and then keep the umbrella handy as we go towards the second half of this week. David?
Hey, thanks so much, Jake.